You do some acting. Is there a role? Is there a role that you wouldn't do, Brad?
Oh, is there a role I wouldn't do? Wow.
You probably don't want to dress up in no costume. You want to show your skills.
I do. I have dressed up in a costume. It's funny because like I've done stuff that's like, but like I always did stuff that where the intent was always humor. But like as a dwarf actor,
Kind of limited, huh?
you gotta do the shit where you're like, all right, I'm in a movie called Hercules Saves Christmas, and Hercules is not the hero; it's a pit bull. Like I'm in a movie called that, so it's like you get work where you can get it.
Right.
But now, thankfully, because stand up is going well and stand up is really successful, I can be a little more selective. So recently, I was in the film Spinal Tap 2. That was awesome. I got to do that with Wee Man, and that was great. And I got to do a scene with Elton John. Sir Elton John. And we're doing a live performance scene. So there's an audience. And the audience sees Elton John. They're all going crazy. They're all extras, but they're all being very nice to him. And Sir Elton waves at him. And then Wee Man is actually in the scene with me. And someone yells out Wee Man, and he waves, and they're all going up. And then one guy yells out, Brett Williams, we love you. And then they all start like they all start clapping. And Elton John, I've not talked to him. He looks at me and goes, who the are you? It's like, okay. I'm an actor. Hi, Elton. I'm Brad. Nice to meet you. But yeah, so I don't know if there's roles I wouldn't play. Like, you know what? There's a lot of roles I wouldn't play. I just have to look at the script, see it. I tell you what I would have played.
What?
I would have played a dwarf in the live-action Snow White movie, but then they took out the dwarves. Thanks, Dinklage.
Yeah, because
Are you watching? Are you watching, Dinklage? Do you know that you took work away from me and my 6-year-old dwarf daughter? You took money and food out of my 6-year-old daughter's mouth. Thanks, Dink. All right, sorry. That's the yak talking.
Did you really get upset?
Yeah. Legit upset because now I don't know if he did it on purpose, but Dinklage was on a podcast. He was on WTF with Mark Maron, and he had mentioned that he's like, oh, are we doing the Snow White thing? Are we still doing the Snow White thing with the dwarfs? And then Disney, like, they were gonna hire a bunch of
and you like,
actors. I'm down, I'm game, let's go. It's Snow White and the 7 dwarves. It's literally the part I was made to play, and they canceled that, and then they announced they were going to do Snow White and the 7 magical beings, and then they released a photo of the 7 magical beings, and it was like, you can pull up the photo somewhere and put it on the podcast, but like, if you look up Snow White and 7 magical beings, it looks like a hacky sack circle at Berkeley. Like, it's just a bunch of everything, including one little person. And then there was outrage about that. So now they landed on, we're going to do Snow White and the 7 dwarves. They're going to be dwarves, but they're going to be CGI. And they CGI'd the dwarves. Yeah, I was mad. I'm still mad. So...
probably if you'd had to roll on Game of Thrones for like all this, you probably wouldn't have wanted to do that.
Yeah, if I had some Game of Thrones, if I had Game of Thrones money, Dink, then maybe I would be, talking out about these roles too. But I don't. So when that happened, I was mad. And if I ever meet Peter Dinklage, despite what I've just done, I have a lot of respect for the man.
Right.
But I would love to have that conversation with him and see what he truly thinks about that, and if it got blown out of proportion, and if he truly doesn't want dwarves to play those roles. Because I know for a fact, and this is something like Dinklage, he made this decision, and I respect him for it. He didn't want to take roles that were making fun. And when he hosted Saturday Night Live, I know some comedians that are on Saturday Night Live, and I know them. They were there when Dinklage hosted, and he came into the writer's room and he said, there will be no dwarf jokes this week. None. He put the kibosh on all the dwarf jokes. So they had to rewrite a bunch of shit.
Right.
But at the same time, Dinklage is... So I respect his opinion for that. But then at the same time, Dinklage is in a movie called Tiptoes. Are you familiar with the movie Tiptoes, Shannon?
I'm not.
Okay. Tiptoes is a movie. It stars people that you might know. Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale.
Wow.
And
cast.
in the role of a lifetime, and they say this in the preview, it sounds like an SNL skit. In the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman plays a dwarf in this movie.
Why not get a real dwarf to play?
Mm-hmm. So Gary Oldman plays dwarf in this movie. Now you think, okay, so maybe they like CGI'd it, right?
Right.
Nope. Gary Oldman is on his knees, got the shoes, he's behind like bars. They're trying to hide his height, and they tie his arms back so his arms will be smaller. And this is what they get to play little people. And Peter Dinklage is also in that movie. Tiptoes is the most offensive movie to little people ever made. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. I highly advise everyone go watch it. And just know that when Peter Dinklage says you shouldn't do this to little people because it's offensive, that he is in that movie. So that is all I will say about that.
Let's get to the better part of your life. The last.
Oh, the yak is going. I'm talking shit about Dinklage.
You are.
Let's go.
I thought you weren't going to talk about anybody.
Oh, I
You lied.
wasn't. I wasn't, but then this shit is smooth.
So, your wife. You met your wife on a dating app.
Yep.
So when you put in there, Brad Williams,
Yep.
3 foot,
4'4".
4'4".
I will fight for every one of those inches, Shannon.
Okay, Brad Williams, 4'4".
Yeah, buddy.
Caucasian male.
Yeah.
Dropped out of USC. I'm a part-time comedian. So
Yeah.
what's your profile?
Oh, dude, my profile. It was a joke profile because, to be honest, and this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I made that profile because I had said that I was on a radio show in San Francisco. This is the best part about being on this radio show. I had moved to San Francisco. I didn't know anybody in San Francisco. So to help me meet people in San Francisco and make friends, we played a game on the radio show.
Uh-oh.
We called the game Tinder or Grindr, where every day I would flip a coin. And based on what it landed on, I had to go on either a Tinder date or a Grindr date that night. And for those of you who don't know, Grindr is a gay Tinder.
Yeah.
And, Brad, you're not gay. You're right. But I am what you call a go-getter. So I actually did go on one gay date with a man, and I told him it's a radio bit. I'm not gay. You don't have to go on a date with me, but I matched with a very large, redheaded, bearded man who told me to call him Ginger Bear. And I said, fine, Ginger Bear, tonight you're with Gummy Bear. Let's go. And we went on a date. It was fine. He was great. He was a nice guy. And then we did Tinder or Grindr the next day, flipped the coin, lands on Tinder. And then I matched with a 5'7" Taekwondo instructor, beautiful Chinese woman, and we've been married 8 years, and we got a 6-year-old together.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was all.
Did you ever think you'd have to go? Did you ever think you would go on a dating app?
No, because I was a comedian.
Yes, because you were making fun of those people that do go on dating apps.
Make them laugh, make them breakfast. I come off stage and there would be people that were very friendly to me, and that's what I thought. I just thought I'm going to be this single guy, and that's great. And then I went on a date with this woman where we were not supposed to. This was a bit for the radio show. This isn't serious. And then I sit down, and literally within 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm in trouble.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was like, oh, she's obviously beautiful. She's smart. And she's going back and forth with me. Like, I can't. Normally, I make a joke and, oh, too much. She's firing right back at me. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. I'm in trouble. And I knew I was in trouble. And it's funny because after a while, she lives in San Francisco. After about when I got fired from the radio show, I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm fired from the radio show. I'm going to move back to LA. I don't really want to do long distance, so I think we should end it. And she looked at me and went, nah.
You didn't want to end it. You played a...
Yeah. Dude, I thought it was going to go, like, I can't do long distance. And then I said, we're going to have to break up. And she just said, no, we're not breaking up.
Wow.
And this is how I knew it was going to work, because I said, okay.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before 2 something.